and girls, your boy the Dread Man is back here with my boy Flip Side. We are doing the NFL Fourth and Goal podcast. Flip, how you doing, my brother?
Uh, rough week.
Yeah, yeah,
We got Waz and the Hurricane, and my Chargers are basically in the Hurricane too. Cause, oh my
yikes,
goodness,
yikes.
this was a hell of a week to watch.
Yeah, most
But other
definitely.
than that, I'm doing good, man. I'm good to go.
Yeah, I hear you on that. My Steelers, ooh, we got some decisions to make in the next couple of weeks, most definitely with the direction this team is going in. But I mean, but the thing is, you got to love, the NFL this year because a lot of teams are pulling some crazy, strange wins out. And the thing is, like, love, love it, hate it, you tune in to see it. I mean, the thing is, it's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen next.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Definitely stick with
This
Bluefish,
year
definitely.
especially, it feels like this year has been an interesting ride. A lot of the teams that we thought were going to be great have been losing to some teams that are questionable. The Chiefs game to be one example. I never thought that was going to happen, but like I was saying before, I enjoy it. I like when the seasons are unpredictable like this. It makes it much more I don't know, much more enjoyable than just kind of having like the cut case closed kind of situation going on. I mean, a lot of us just thought the Bills were going to plow their way through the
Mm,
entire league and win it all. So
yeah,
now to see, some things happen, it's interesting. So
yeah,
I'm really excited for
yeah,
this season.
yeah. Dang it. I mean, and the thing is, it's still early. That means that it can only get crazier from here. But anyway,
Oh yeah,
yeah, game of the week for this year from week three. What's your game of the week?
game of the week. Man,
I'm gonna go
let me
Bill. I'm
think.
gonna go Bills Dolphins. I'm
That
gonna go.
Dolphins game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bills
Yeah,
Dolphins.
I was thinking that Dolphins game. Yeah, it might be Bills Dolphins.
Yeah,
That was a wild game. The Tua incident was crazy. I thought he was gone.
yeah, me
I
too.
thought he was gone for the game, and then he just comes back like Jesus. It was just
Yeah,
hey, and then he leads them down the field. Jalen Waddle back to back throws, and then the touchdown. It's just like that was interesting, especially since the Bills were holding the ball practically the whole game. I think Tua only threw like 20 times that game, so um, yeah, that might be my game of the week as well. Yeah, I think it's Dolphins. Bills.
yeah. All right, and your most improved team of the week.
I know it was a couple injuries that helped them out, but I mean, honestly, I think it's a better football team than bad football team. I got to go with
Uh,
the Jaguars here. They proved me wrong. I thought it was going to be a game where the Chargers are pretty easy setup, but Trevor Lawrence went out there and he balled out. Uh, he was just spreading the ball to his receivers. I know Joey Bosa went out early. The injury to one of our best O linemen probably hurt us too, but that's no excuse. Like if you can't get the ball down the field and battle it out against Trevor Lawrence and those boys, then it doesn't matter. If you got 30 plus hung up on you, shout out to the Jaguars. I think they're definitely the most improved team this week.
definitely. Mine has to be. I'm going to go Ravens, especially because of the way that they just choked last week and they came back this week. But thing is, a lot of people were saying that the Patriots were supposed to lose that game and the Ravens were supposed to win. But I'll go ahead and give Ravens the credit where it's due. I got them as my most improved team. Now for the ever so
Okay.
coveted choke of the week. Who are you giving this one to?
Choke of the week. I kind of want to give it to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
You're playing a team that just got blown out by the Jaguars, and you go out there and lose to them 17-20.
yeah,
Like a team that couldn't even get an offense going without their best receiver, and now he comes back and all of a sudden he's hanging 20 points on y'all.
yeah,
That's a little sketchy. I'm not gonna lie, but
very.
yeah, I gotta go with the Chiefs here. I had no thought in my mind that the Chiefs were gonna lose to the Colts, but I mean, I guess the Colts pulled it off. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
choke of the week for the Chiefs to me.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. All right, let's get into these week 4 predictions. And this is the week where where the glorified preseason starts to come to an end. We start to see teams start to gel and start to get somewhat of an identity. All right, first game, you got the Cincinnati Bengals at home against the Miami Dolphins. Whew, boy. Now, if you'd have told me that the Dolphins would be 3-0, the Bengals would be 1-2, I'd have raised an eyebrow to you. And the funny thing is, the Bengals are favored by 4 points in this game, but the Dolphins, they're riding a hell of a momentum train right now. And the thing is, depending on Tua's health, they can be scary. And the thing is, we know what the Bengals and Joe Burrow can bring to the table. It's just that execution has been very, very sloppy on their part lately. And the thing is, like, against a Dolphins team that's hungry, you can't slack an inch. Give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins 27-24 over the Bengals this week. Who you got? Dolphins, Bengals.
Oh man, I've been thinking about this game a lot because I was thinking about putting some props on it. Looking at it, it's like Waddle banged up with that groin injury. I know Xavier Howard banged up with the same groin injury as well. T. Higgins is fine. Tua, I don't even know where Tua's at right now.
Right.
He still might be in cloud 9 after that hit. Man. I'm liking Dolphins just because, I mean, can you really bet against the team that really, like, the Bills just now?
Yeah.
And the time of possession was crazy, so they had to be efficient with the ball. The Bengals, I don't know if they can stop them. I think it's going to be like a shootout. It really depends on the health of the Dolphins here.
But you also got to remember
towards the Dolphins here.
Yeah, you also got to remember that Joe Burrow's getting eaten alive behind that O-line, and you can't do that against the Dolphins.
He is. Yeah, he definitely is, and that's something that I'm thinking about here. But the Dolphins lost their defensive tackle. I think it's going to be a shootout. I really think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm leaning towards the Dolphins, though, because you got Waddle and Tyreek.
Yeah.
And in those shootout games, those are the guys that you see break coverage and get that free touchdown on them. Yeah. And it just gives you all the momentum. So I'm going Dolphins here. I'm going to take Dolphins 31, Bengals 27.
All right. Next up, you got the New Orleans Saints at home against the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings are a sleeper team because they got all the tools to actually be something or do something down the line. And I really just don't know what to make of this Saints team. I really don't. And the thing is that in every game they've hung in there. Hell, they hung in there against against Tampa Bay, which I thought actually all intents and purposes I thought that they should have won that game. But that Vikings team. The thing is, the Vikings got a hell of a running game. But then again, Alvin Kamara is back. But the thing is, he needs to get that fumbling control. That fumbling problem under control for his. Going ahead and give me the Vikings in this game 28-21 over the Saints. Who you got? Vikings Saints.
Vikings Saints. I know Dalvin's banged up. He dislocated that shoulder or something again.
Yeah.
He's got shoulder injuries for days, for years so far in his career. But I think they said he can just, put like a little cast on and he'll be good to go with it. This team has turned to a passing offense anyway. It's just, man, I don't know what it is. Is Justin Jefferson getting locked up by the entire league after week 1, or has he run into bad corners matchups? Because I know Darius Slay, bad matchup. I forget who he faced last week, but they locked his ass up too. He gets Lattimore this week, so I don't know. Yeah. It's like, oh man, he's been getting locked up. But the Vikings, I mean, they're a pass-heavy team right now, so you can't afford to do that against this Saints team who they're looking great. I mean, Michael Thomas looks like his old self. Olave is coming in. He's a candidate for Rookie of the Year if he can keep this up. I know Kamara is still banged up with those ribs. I just don't like the Saints offense right now. It feels like they get real stagnant at times. But this Vikings team isn't that much better. I'm going to lean towards the Vikings here. Just like the receiver talent a little more. I think Justin Jefferson's going to have a breakout year if he can get past all these corners.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm going Vikings here. I'm going to say Vikings 24-21 over the Saints.
All right. Next up, you got the Atlanta Falcons at home against the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Cleveland Browns had a pretty stout win. I mean, the thing is, you could say it was ugly, but in the end, they pulled away with it against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Falcons, they're trying to shake off that stigma that they're choke artists. And the thing is, they're actually on paper, they're not really a team that's too much of a threat. But the thing is that they're trying to fight hard for every single game, every single yard, every single down. And you can't take that away from. And me personally, I think it's going to be another one of those low-scoring games. Man, in this one, it might all depend on who's got the better running game, because Nick Chubb ran down the Pittsburgh Steelers' throats for pretty much half the daggone game. And the Falcons, they can get to the quarterback, but the thing is, their run defense really isn't that much. Can't believe I'm going to say this, and I hope I'm wrong, but go ahead and give me the Cleveland Browns this game, 24-20. Who you got? Browns, Falcons.
I like what the Browns did last week. They got Amari Cooper involved way more, just like the previous week. They didn't stray away from him. He's getting open. They've gotten Njoku starting in this passing game as well. And when you have a passing attack open up like that, it lets Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt run wild. And we saw that last week as well. So this Falcons defense doesn't really pose a threat to this team. Their offense is still trying to, find its way, but there's no Myles Garrett this week probably. Yeah. If he does play, he's still banged up from that
car accident.
Accident. That's unfortunate. But I feel like that Cleveland defense is still nice enough without him. I think they can disrupt Marcus Mariota a little more. So I'm going to probably agree with you here. Probably go with the Browns. I'll say 23-20 over Falcons.
All right. Next up, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers at home against the New York Jets. Both of these teams are 1-2. The Steelers, they got weapons, but the thing is, it's the reason why they're in the position they're in now is because of two things: bad play calling and a quarterback being indecisive. The Jets get Zach Wilson back. If you ask me, they may be better off sticking with Joe Flacco, but I mean, we'll see how it turns out. And the Steelers' defense is not. I mean, the thing is, Alex Highsmith is probably our best pass rusher right now. All credit to him. The Steelers' offense, on the offensive side of the ball, our weapons are dangerous. It's just that we got to get our quarterback situation right. Hell, Najee rushed for damn near 100 yards, and that incredible Superman type of catch by George Pickens last week, that was a highlight. That was an Odell Beckham type of catch. I feel like this might be a defensive game too. I mean, the thing is, I think this game might be defensive all the way up until the end, but then there might be that one super breakout play. And can the Jets defense get to can they get to Mitch? They can, but will they be able to make significant defensive plays? I mean, as in, will they get sacks? They might be able to get a few quarterback hits, but will they be able to get sacks? Will they be able to force fumbles? That's the biggest question I got for the Jets defense. And how is Zach Wilson going to act if they start him? Which it's looking like they are. Oh boy. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game, 27-20. 21. All right, who you got? Jets, Steelers.
Yeah, I agree with you. Joe Flacco, if he won at least 2 games, they might ease Wilson back into this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see them just running with Joe Flacco. There's no way they run with Flacco for the rest of the season.
Right.
So, I honestly feel like he'd have to have some dominant wins for them to keep him in there. But yeah, this is a plus for the Steelers to me. I think bringing Zach Wilson back in, he's gonna have to kind of ease himself back into a rhythm. This is the time where we could see the Pittsburgh defense take advantage of that. He's got to get that chemistry with his receivers in practice this week. So I don't know if he's practicing this week as well. Yeah, this might be a game where I got to go with the Steelers here.
Yeah.
I don't really have any fear of the Jets defense. Trubisky looked pretty solid against the Browns last week. I know they lost still, but when he was moving in that pocket pretty well. I mean, they just got Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
And when you have Myles Garrett, you can disrupt guys eventually. So I don't see the Jets having a Myles Garrett type player. Like you were saying, Najee was kind of getting more involved in the offense. The Pickens catch was great. Trubisky and Deontay are getting on page more and more. I think it's going to be a close game still because Zach Wilson, he's not a bad quarterback. And, I mean, there's no TJ Watt, but that Steelers defense is still strong. Yeah. So I'm going to say close game, but give me the Steelers in this one 24-21 over the Jets.
All right. Next up, we got Washington going on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, a lot of people would say that the Dallas Cowboys shouldn't have had such a close game against the New York Giants, but I was debating on if the Giants were for real or if that was just a fluky 2-0 team. But the Giants were fighting too. But anyway, back to the Cowboys. This game is going to be very, very weird for me because it's like, is Carson Wentz at this point in his career worse than Cooper Rush, who isn't exactly MVP caliber quarterback? But, I mean, the thing is, he's a game manager. He can make plays. And the thing is, what's happening is he's relying on his weapons, and he's got some pretty damn good weapons. And especially if they can get Zeke going, then it could be it really could get spooky for them. Especially when is Chase Young supposed to be coming back? Chase Young's when is around like week 6?
Yeah, probably mid-season.
Yeah,
so probably like week 8.
Week 8, 9, yeah, something like that. Yeah. So they have no real threat to the run, being able to stop the run right there. If they can, the thing is, if Washington's defense can make Cooper Rush uncomfortable, they might be able to make a game out of it. But I just don't trust Carson Wentz worth a damn because he got obliterated by the Eagles. So, I mean, this game might be open and shut for me. Go ahead and give me the Dallas Cowboys over Washington, 28-17. All right, who you got? Cowboys or Washington?
I got the Cowboys in this. I know Washington is Carson Wentz. He's been looking good, but Cowboys defense, it might be the best defense in the league.
Wow, that's bold.
They're at least top 3. They're out here winning games. Everyone thought once Dak was gone, it was wraps for this team, and Cooper Rush has been out here. He's not, he ain't Aaron Rodgers or anything, but he knows how to, get his reads off. He knows how to get to CeeDee Lamb, who dropped that one wide open pass, which was, that was horrendous. But I mean, he made up for it. CeeDee had the great catch. I think he had like 8 catches for 80 yards. Cooper Rush, he kind of stepped in and he's looking good. Like, people could argue that he's, if Dak went out for the rest of the season, they'd be fine with Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
He gets Michael Gallup back this week finally. So he's gonna have Michael Gallup, Noah Brown, CeeDee Lamb. Zeke looked good last game against the Giants. Tony Pollard looked great last game against the Giants.
Yeah.
This offense, I mean, as long as Cooper Rush doesn't turn the ball over and and keeps doing what he's doing, this Cowboys team is set. So give me the Cowboys in this. I'll say 27-23 over the Commanders.
All right. Next up, we got Seahawks Lions. This is gonna be another one of those weirdo kind of games because I don't know what to make of the Seahawks and the Lions. The thing is, a lot of people might. The thing is, I don't think they're gonna go to the playoffs this year or anything like that. But the Lions, they're fighting, man. They really are. They're one of these teams that are underrated, but it's like, how are they going to act against top tier teams? That's the question that everybody else has. And like I said, the Seahawks don't really have an identity. You don't know what Seahawks is going to show up, and that's kind of what scares me about this game a little bit for them. But they got to figure something out. So, but we'll see. And Jared Goff, he's actually looking comfortable as a Lions quarterback now. I mean, it was rough when he first went there, but still, he's making his guys look very, very good. Now, the only question is how is both defenses going to act? And at this point, I feel like the Lions might have a slightly better defense than the Seahawks. So with that in mind, go ahead and give me. And the thing is, the Lions actually been putting up some pretty good amount of points too. So go ahead and give me the Lions over the Seahawks, 31-21 over. Yeah, 31-21 over the Seahawks. Who you got? Seahawks, Lions.
Seahawks, I mean, they look solid this year.
Mm-hmm.
They've had some interesting games, but when I look at the Lions, this Lions team is really one receiver away from really being a good threat to the NFC. And I mean, they might get him in a couple weeks. Jameson Williams.
Oh yeah.
I think they took him with a 14th pick or something. He was falling in the draft. But he should have been a number one receiver out that board. So if he comes out and he's, that solid, strong number 2 or maybe even number 1 next to Amon-Ra St. Brown,
yeah,
Jared Goff's got some weapons. So, I mean, Jamal Williams looks great in that backfield. They need Swift to get healthy again. But, I mean, if you look at it, they got a strong 2 tandem back in that backfield. They've got 2 strong receivers in a couple weeks as well. This Lions team could be great. I think they don't need Jameson yet to beat the Seahawks, though, because Gino's nice, but DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
I think he needs a better quarterback, someone who can get it down the field to him, because Gino's kind of like a dink and dunk guy, and I don't think you can do that against this Lions team and keep up. So give me the Lions in this. I'll say 24-17 over the Seahawks, just because they need a better quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, we got Indianapolis Colts at home against the Tennessee Titans. Colts have so far probably pulled the upset of the year. Like, damn near everybody counted them out except if you're a Colts fan. The Titans have kind of disappointed me. They pulled out a somewhat impressive win against the Raiders, and I did not expect the Raiders to be winless at this point in the season. I really didn't. They got to turn some stuff around too. We'll talk about them later. The Colts, with them being 1-1-1, they're one of those wishy-washy teams. And the thing is, how they play depends on the competition. And the Titans are playing like really, really lackluster right now. And if you stop Derrick Henry, you pretty much stop 90% of their offense. Oh, man. And the Colts, Matt Ryan looked okay. The only problem is the Colts don't really have a defense. They really don't. You can score on them. And that's the thing, is that's nothing that you really want. Surprisingly, the Colts are favored by 3 points, but I wouldn't take that bet. I say that the Titans get their stuff together and they win this game 26-21 over the Colts. Who you got? Titans, Colts, AFC South matchup.
Man, kind of want to go with the Colts here, but the Titans, I mean, they're kind of built the same way, and that's the weird part.
Yeah.
I think I just like Matt Ryan more as a quarterback than I do Ryan Tannehill right now. Him and Michael Pittman have good chemistry. Ryan Tannehill and Robert Woods and Treylon Burks and those guys, they're still trying to get on the same page, apparently. They both have great runners in Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. I just think the Colts have a better defense, and I think they're more on the same page right now, and especially after beating the Chiefs, I think they got a lot of momentum. So give me the Colts in this. I'll say 24-20 over Titans.
All right. Next up, you got the New York Giants against the Chicago Bears. Both of these teams are 2-1. The thing is, probably the most meaningful win to date is the Swamp Bowl that they had against the 49ers in the season opener. And the Giants, I was close to saying that they're for real. But thing is, they ran into their big brother, the Dallas Cowboys. And the thing is, that loss aside, the Giants really don't look too bad of a team this year. Of course, Danny Dimes ain't perfect. I mean, of course. But Saquon is a freaking tank. And I don't think there's anything they could do that the Bears can do to contain him. And thing is, Justin Fields, he's going to have to cook up something. Either that or they're going to have to heavily rely on their defense to create opportunities for him, or the Giants are just going to have to completely piss the bed with turnovers and penalties. And I don't see that happening. So go ahead and give me the Giants in this game 23-21 over the Bears. Who you got? Bears, Giants.
I'm taking Giants here. I cannot trust Justin Fields as a quarterback. I don't even think the Bears trust Justin Fields at quarterback at this point. It's a wrap. Justin Fields, I think he's throwing like 17 attempts per game at this point. David Montgomery's banged up. I don't think he's playing this week. Khalil Herbert's a great backup, but I mean, still at the end of the day, Darnell Mooney, he hasn't gotten on the same page with Fields. Fields, he doesn't throw the ball really. It's just a run team, and when one of your best backs is out and it's not that 1-2 punch anymore, you really can't run it as much as you want to. The Giants, I mean, Saquon looks good. Daniel Jones, I mean, he lost Sterling Shepard, but I mean, when you look at that lineup, they still got Kadarius Toney. Kenny Galladay's not really a receiver at this point, but I mean, Kadarius Toney and Richie James, that's enough for them. They got this Bears team's number. Give it a Giants in this. I'll say 24-16 over the Bears.
All right. Next up, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars going on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles, 3-0. Now, this game is very, very interesting because the Jaguars looking like they got a second win and they're coming alive. Maybe back to their I wouldn't say back to their 2017 form, but maybe they've got a whole new identity. And the Eagles are on fire right now. I mean, at this point, it's the Eagles offense against the Jaguars defense. And it's like, at this point, who do you like more? I might like and the thing is, the Eagles obliterated Washington last week, and the Jags looked impressive last week against your Chargers. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I think this might be one of the higher scoring games this week. A lot of people, I don't know I really don't know what to expect from the Jaguars QB situation. I don't know if Sunshine's going to cook up anything, but we'll see about that. Jalen Hurts is starting to look more comfortable, man. He's starting to look a lot more comfortable. A few more definitive wins. He might be in that MVP conversation. We'll see. Go ahead and give me the Eagles in this game. Give me the Eagles 30-27 over the Jags. Who you got? Jags, Eagles.
Yeah, I thought the Jags were impressive this year, this year actually.
Yeah.
Last game they were impressive. I think the only game they've really kind of had like a fallout, I think, was their first week when they're kind of probably getting things together still. Ever since then, they've been rolling on all cylinders. But this Eagles team has looked great.
Yeah.
This Eagles team might win the NFC East at this rate. They're 3-0 with the Dolphins. Jalen Hurts is having a hell of a year, MVP year so far. Him and Lamar. It's hard to bet against these Eagles because he's got AJ Brown looking great. He's got Devontae Smith looking great. He's got his run game healthy. The defense has been solid. I know the Jags have been clicking, but Jalen Hurts is just going to be hard for them to control.
Yeah.
I'm betting against the Jags this game. I know the Jags can probably keep up with them, but Jalen Hurts is just on a roll right now, and I don't think many teams are stopping him. I don't think the Jags are stopping him. Give me the Eagles in this, 31-27 over the Jags.
All right. Next up, potential game of the week and a potential probably AFC divisional matchup. You got the Buffalo Bills going on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Bills got humbled against the Dolphins last week, and the Ravens just had their comeback win. Man, both of these teams actually could have been potentially 3-0 going into this. I mean, these are two of the big dogs in the AFC conference. I mean, you got Josh Allen going up against Lamar Jackson. Pay the man, please. Man, like both, and it's crazy how in a decade, or maybe even shorter span than a decade, how both of these teams have changed their whole identities from being mostly defensive teams to mostly offensive heavy teams. Both of these teams got got pretty good mobile quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks have an arm. They both have a running game, and they both got some pretty damn good weapons. I say the Bills might have some more weapons than the Ravens as far as the receiving core, but Lamar can more than make up that with his legs and his arm. This is probably going to come down to mistakes, and you don't want to make the same. The Bills don't want to make the same mistake that they made last week with leaving not enough time on the clock. You don't want to do that, and that's also going to be a big key factor is clock management. That run game is going to be key because you able to run the ball down the throat. You're able to take time off that clock, even if you don't score. You can still get your team in good defensive position. Oh boy. A part of me kind of wants to go Ravens in this game. But you know what?
I don't blame you.
The Bills are favored by, I'm looking at the betting guys. The Bills are favored by 3. And I can't believe it, but I'm actually going to take that bet. Go ahead and give me Buffalo in this game 31-27 over the Ravens. Who you got? Bills, Ravens.
I was a little iffy about this one. I was concerned about how I was going to go with this one.
Mm-hmm.
But both of these teams are time of possession hogs, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. Mm-hmm. I think the Bills have been a little more possession heavy than the Ravens. Mm-hmm. But then, the Bills held it all game against the Dolphins and still lost. Yeah. So when I'm thinking about this, it's like, man, Lamar's having a great year, but Josh Allen's having a great year as well.
Yeah.
Both of these offenses are great right now. The defense for the Bills is a little banged up, but so is the Ravens defense. Man, this is a toss-up. Yeah. I honestly feel like it can go either way. I just think Lamar's been using his legs so much in these games that it's going to be hard for this Bills defense to kind of keep up with them, especially when they're banged up. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of leaning towards Lamar and the Ravens here. I'm going to go Ravens. I'll say 35-31 over the Bills.
All righty. Next up, you got the LA Chargers going on the road against the Houston Texans. Now, for all intents and purposes, the Chargers should smoke the Texans' boots. They should. But I really just don't know. The thing is, long story short, I do got the Chargers winning this game. But the thing is, with the way they've been playing, they can easily blow it, and especially if they don't do a good job protecting Justin Herbert. The Texans, they're the Texans. They don't really have that much of an identity. But the thing is, one thing the Chargers don't want to do is let them hang around too long and let the Texans make a game out of it, because then that's when mistakes happen. and they're good. And the thing is, if they're probably, as much as I hate to say it, the Chargers are probably one of the top 5 most choke prone teams in the NFL today. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. And the thing is Keenan Allen back?
He should be. He's practicing.
Okay, well, yeah, that's
we get Keenan Allen back, and we get J.C. Jackson back.
Okay, that's a plus, definitely. Like I said, on paper, the Chargers should win this match, but we'll see. Give me the Chargers 26-17 over the Texans. Who you got? Texas Chargers.
I know I just said we're getting Keenan and J.C. Jackson back, but losing your best O-lineman and losing your best defensive lineman for pretty much the second or the first half of the season, that's a huge hit. I've been betting for the Chargers so much this year. I'm just gonna go with the upset this game.
Wow.
Texans win. I feel like if I bet against them, they might win. So I'm going Texans.
Yeah.
I do like the Texans though. I like Dameon Pierce. I think they found themselves a great rookie running back. Davis Mills has been serviceable. He can get all to Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins. So this is a team, especially their defensive side of the ball. They've been holding teams to low points. So anything can happen in NFL. So I'm going with the sleeper pick here. I'm going to go Texans. Texans 20, Chargers 17.
If it means anything, the Texans are at home, but I don't really think it means that much. Anywho, moving on. You got the Carolina Panthers going up against the Cardinals. The Panthers are actually favored by 1.5 in this game, and I don't know if you want to. That's a risky bet to take for me because it's too close. Now the Panthers are starting to get just a little bit of their rhythm back, but I just don't think that a Baker-led. I think like Baker still needs some more time, and the thing is, in the NFL, time's of the essence. So, and the thing is, I love the Cardinals. I do, especially with what they have on defense. But lately, they've been relying on Kyler to bail them out of some crappy situations. For what it's worth, Kyler's a better quarterback than Baker is. But it's all going to come down to whose weapons can execute better. I really don't want to do this, but go ahead and give me the Panthers over the Cardinals. I can't believe I was originally going to pick the Cardinals, but nah, I feel safer picking the Panthers this game. Give me the Panthers 27-26 over the Cardinals. Who you got? Panthers, Cardinals.
Panthers, Cardinals. I'm going Cardinals here. I don't like the Panthers this week or this year. I don't like them this week.
Yeah.
They don't really utilize Christian McCaffrey enough. I think Baker is more of a down the field kind of guy instead of check down and get the yards. Honestly, I feel like Baker ruins teams. The Browns look good now with him gone, and it's kind of scary. The Panthers look worse when it comes to this team now. DJ Moore, he's been out of the game script. Robbie Anderson is basically the number one receiver in that team. Christian McCaffrey is a 20 carry, running down the middle kind of back now. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, they get Rondale Moore back this week probably. Greg Dortch has been a great wide receiver too.
Yes.
Marquise Brown and Kyler have that chemistry from the college days.
Yeah.
I think looking back at last week, it was just the Rams defense had their number. It's a divisional game. This week, I think they have a way easier time with the Panthers. Give me the Cardinals in this 27-20 over the Panthers.
All righty. Next up, you got the New England Patriots going on the road to Lambeau Field against the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, he got that win against Tom Brady, and now he's going up against a banged up Mac Jones. Now, here's the
I don't
thing.
even think Mac Jones is playing.
Yeah, and that's what scares me even more because this game could get real spooky real quick, especially if Aaron Jones gets to run the ball down their throats and Aaron Rodgers starts clicking. This can get spooky. Uh, Bill Belichick better come up with something. I mean, if he like one thing that he needs to do is milk the hell out of that clock. But thing is, going up against Aaron Rodgers, milking that clock's not going to work all that well in his favor. Man, the thing is, their chances of winning are slim in this game. Can it be done? Yeah. On the road against Aaron Rodgers and with the way they looked last week, I don't think so. Short, sweet, and to the point. Going ahead and give me the Packers over the Patriots, 33-20. Who you got? Packers, Patriots.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think the Packers get this W pretty easily. If Mac Jones plays, he's banged up pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Hoyer's not that guy who's gonna come out and beat Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers gets more and more chemistry with his receivers every week. He's looking good now. He's getting the ball to the Romeo Dubes or Dubs. I don't know how to say this guy's name.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon in the backfield. Yeah, give me the Packers in this. I'll say 24-16 over the Patriots.
All right. Next up, we got the Denver Broncos going on the road against the Las Vegas, Raiders. The Raiders have just been letting wins slip the hell away from me, and that's a problem that they got to get fixed. They got to turn it around. The thing is, this is the perfect game where they could turn that around. And the Broncos, like I said, the Russell Wilson-led Broncos are still trying to find themselves. I think that opening game against the Seahawks was just, I think it was just a bad game for them because the Broncos got pieces. I mean, the thing is, they have pieces, and Russell's starting to find himself with the Broncos. I don't know what the hell is up with Derek Carr, nor do I know what the hell is up with the Raiders defense anymore. They can't just keep getting beat up and letting games slip away from them. When the thing is, when they're ahead, they let it slip away. They don't put their foot on the gas, or they're getting embarrassed. This is a divisional opponent, so if they want to make a win, they want to make a statement win. Now's the time to do it. And they're favored 2.5 points of this. And the thing is, me personally, I don't think they could take that bet. I wouldn't take that bet if I were you. Go ahead and give me the Broncos in this game. 28-21 over the Raiders. Who you got? Raiders, Broncos.
Oh man, both of these teams are in shambles right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders. I mean, you got Devontae Adams on your team. You better throw the ball to him at least 20 times if you're about to lose. The Broncos, Russ doesn't look the same anymore. Russ looks like he's on his decline. I don't know what it is. It looks like he's got the same receivers basically in Denver that he had in Seattle, but I don't know what's going on. They just had a slugfest with the 49ers.
Yeah.
I got to go with the Raiders here just because, I mean, the Broncos offense they haven't been clicking, and I see so much potential with these, the Raiders team, these Raiders receivers. Their defense is serviceable too. I mean, you got Abrams and Crosby and Chandler Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at that, I mean, Russ ain't running out the pocket like he used to, creating time for his receivers. He's a pocket passer now. He's stands 3 steps back, straight up. And so when I see that, I'm like, sure, I'll take Derek Carr over that. So give me the Raiders over the Broncos. I'll say 24-19.
All righty. Next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs going on the road against the Tampa Bay Bucks. It was an ugly loss that the Bucks took last week, and an even uglier loss that the Chiefs took last week. And do you really see the Bucks going, losing 2 straight? I don't even see the Chiefs losing 2 straight, so this is going to be a hell of a matchup. This is also going to come down to a time of possession kind of game because you don't really want either one of these guys having the ball in the last 2 minutes of the game. I believe that the Bucks, their key is going to be the key is going to have to be running the ball down with the Chiefs defense's throat. I actually do like Fournette better than I like Edwards Hilaire. And at this point, as far as quarterbacks, I like Mahomes better than Brady. Boy, and the thing is, the Chiefs are favored by a point over this. I'll take that bet. Go ahead and give me the Chiefs 28-26 over the Bucks. Who you got? Chiefs, Buccaneers.
It might be. I might be making the wrong pick here, but give me the Bucks in this. I think when I'm looking at the Chiefs, I don't see anybody who's stepping up for Patrick Mahomes besides Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
The Bucks D line is a run stopping god, so they're not gonna have Clyde Edwards-Helaire out here running for him like crazy anymore. Yeah. So it's up to the receivers, and when you got Juju as your number one and he's underperforming, and Mahomes has to kind of rely on Travis Kelce this whole game. He doesn't have Tyreek anymore. He's got Juju now.
Right.
It's a little more difficult for him. So I'm looking at Tom Brady. He's probably going to get Chris Godwin back this week. He's got Mike Evans back this week. He almost beat the Packers with basically nobody.
Yeah.
So, I gotta go with Brady and the Bucks here. I think they pull off an upset. I don't know if they're the underdog here, but
they are.
I'm assuming they are.
They are.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the upset here and go with the Bucks. I'll say 28-24 over the Chiefs.
All right. And last but not least, AFC West matchup. You got the 49ers going up against the Rams. And it doesn't matter because every time both of these teams square off, the matchups are always fire and they always high scoring. But I say that the Rams look like more of a dominant team than the 49ers at this point. And the thing is, oh my God, that was a horrible foul by Jimmy G. The thing is, he is more of the essential leader of that team, and the thing is going to be that way until next year. We'll see how it goes. You got Deebo Samuel, he's a running back / wide receiver. You got George Kittle back and healthy. That's all. And the thing is, can that defense stop them? Can Jalen Ramsey really contain him? The thing is, they're gonna have to play bump and run like hell. They're gonna have to, go overtime, disrupting the hell out of that pass game. And I believe the key is not even trying to stop it, but to get to Jimmy G before he can even throw the damn ball. They're gonna have to stack and they're gonna have to have at least 9 QB hits on Jimmy G and have to have at least 3 or 4 sacks, which I believe that the Rams can do. The Rams, I believe once they step that, their running game is pretty damn good, and that's going to be key in this game. Is if they can milk the hell out of that clock, they won't have to worry. There'll be one less burden they'll have to have because they almost let the Falcons come back on them, and that's something that you got to look at too. But if you ask me, at this point, the Rams have kind of faced better competition than the 49ers have. So that's also something to look after. Oh boy. Give me the Rams 31-26 over the Niners. All right, Flip. Flip. Who you got? Rams, Niners.
This Niners team is interesting. I think Jimmy G knows that they've given up on him. And he's just out there just playing the play at this point. He looks bad. The fact that they got a safety, and that was the good part about it because he threw a pick six.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. The Rams, like you said, all they got to do is get to Jimmy G to win this game, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do with Aaron Donald out there. Aaron Donald might have like 3 or 4 sacks this game.
Yeah.
Ramsey's probably going to be on Kittle or Ayuk. Who knows? I mean, Jimmy G, he's not the best thrower. All they gotta do is stop the run. If they kill the run, they win this game.
Pretty much.
Their offense is a high-powered offense, regardless. You got Cooper Kupp out there. Cooper Kupp is unguardable.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, give it to Rams in this. I'll say Rams 27, Niners 17.
All righty. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode of the Fourth and Goal podcast. Pretty cut and dry there. Flip, got any last words before we sign out? Oh, yes. Shout out to our boy Waz. You know, he's going through some things right now, and prayers to everybody who could be potentially suffering from this from this hurricane that's going on in Florida. All right, guys. Good night.